Amal Clooney. These are really clever, really focused women who could well help Meghan go, who knows, all the way to the White House.
Mm-hmm. Is that honestly a possibility? She is an American citizen, but doesn't the fact that she is a member of the royal family, doesn't that play a role here as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think the reality is, as a current working member of the royal family, it would be pretty difficult for her to take on a political ticket. But that's not to say that further down the line, as she and Harry develop their own roles on a global platform, she might decide that a political world is one that she wants to pursue more than the royal world. And William and Kate are the ones who are going to be the king and queen in years to come. Their children will be the ones that are the ones set to inherit the throne after them. And Meghan and Harry can carve a slightly different path and a different career. And whether it is the White House or whether it's sort of more of a sort of humanitarian ambassador roles, who knows? But I think the question that we ask is, how far does Meghan want to go? And this isn't the pinnacle of Meghan's career. There's so much more that she clearly wants to do. And she's been making a difference since she was a 10-year-old girl.
Yes, you've got some exclusive footage of her.
Yeah, we were really lucky. We found this amazing footage of her, age 10, organising an anti-war campaign when she was at her school in Hollywood. There was a little boy who was in her class whose brother was going off to fight in the First Gulf War. He was very upset about his brother going, and Meghan wanted to help him. So she did start a campaign at the school to try and stop the war. And Linda Ellaby of Nick News interviewed her not long after this, and she tells a really interesting story of how Meghan was clearly a little girl who wanted to make a difference, but she knew that making a difference wasn't going to be easy. And I think Linda's words have now played throughout Meghan's life and career. She's still wanting to make a difference, and she knows it won't be easy. And if you put your head above the parapet, you can sometimes be shot down, and she's experiencing that now. But she is determined to fight on, and she will make a difference. Now,
you not only have Linda Ellaby, who is somebody I've admired for many years, but also you've got quite a star-studded roster of people involved in this documentary that you're talking to as well.
Well, you're very kind. We've got some great people. We've got exclusive interviews with Meghan's teacher at her school in Hollywood, Elise Bay. We've got a great interview with Liz Corres, who is Meghan's sorority sister at Northwestern. And neither Elise or Liz had spoken on camera before. And I think they felt now was the right time to speak, partly because Meghan had this slightly negative press in the UK, and they wanted to let the world know the truth about this woman, and this woman who, from a very early stage, before she had any level of fame, wanted to help others and wanted to make a difference. So we had those guys, but then we've also got, from Hollywood, one of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Brandy Glanville, who is a Meghan super fan. You've got Perez Hilton, who understands the world of fame and talks about how Meghan fits into that. And then also old friends from her days on Deal or No Deal as a briefcase girl.
Yes.
Tamika Jacobs tells a really interesting story about Meghan not wanting to meet President Trump, even when he turned up, when he was Donald Trump, just Donald in those days, turning up at Deal or No Deal, and she wouldn't be part of the group that would meet him. She's been a focused and opinionated lady for a long time now.
Right. So is there a message here in this documentary for the British press saying, hey, you're off base? Is that kind of what you're trying to say?
Well, I know, unfortunately, that our British tabloids have had a sort of a history of the tall poppy syndrome and wanting to cut down those tall poppies. And I think what we're trying to say with the documentary is don't underestimate Meghan. This is not a lady who has suddenly become a princess or a duchess and is now wanting to make a difference. She's been wanting to make a difference forever, from when she was a little girl. And so, get behind her, get with her. The American public are clearly really supportive of Meghan, and I think most of the British public are too. So the message is, there is more to this lady than you might read about. And what we try to do with True Royalty as a whole TV service is to say, get behind the headlines, get behind the gossip, get the context, the truth, the backstory about these people you hear about every day and read about every day. We do it with we've got great documentaries on Diana, Princess Margaret, the Queen's sister. And I think, if your listeners are fans of The Crown, the new series of The Crown is coming out soon on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
What we're finding is that people watch The Crown and then start meeting people in the royal family that they've never heard of before. And then they come to True Royalty to find out more about those people and to get the backstory, the context, and the truth about some of the most famous characters in The Crown.
Nick, they're going to give me the hook here. True Royal TV is available on subscription. Where do they get it?
So True Royalty is available on Apple, on Roku, on Comcast. But maybe the simplest thing for anybody to do is just Google True Royalty, and the TV service comes up. There's hundreds of hours of great royal documentaries about all your favorite royals from across history and across the globe. Really simple. True Royalty on Google, and it'll take you straight into a binge-watching fest of all things royal. Nick
Bullen, smashing to talk to you. Let's do it again sometime, and congratulations and best of luck with this.
Thanks, Ken.
Nick Bullen, documentary filmmaker, royals expert, and the main force behind True Royal TV. And Meghan for President has premiered on True Royal TV, and so if you have that streaming service, you can see it. I've seen the documentary. It's mighty interesting. Check it out, True Royal TV, and promotional consideration for the preceding segment provided by True Royal TV. And we'll wrap it up with that. Thank you for listening to this edition of Conversation Collage. Back with more next time. On our next edition, we will talk about men's health. This is Men's Health Awareness Month as we're doing this in November, and so for a lot of guys that turns into Movember, and you see mustaches growing. No, not on this mug of mine. Oh, no, I don't do that. But a lot of guys do it, and there's a reason they do it, and we'll talk about that in our next edition of Conversation Collage. Thank you for joining us. Be sure and check us out on Instagram and Facebook, and tell your friends that we're here too. Spread the word, won't you? That is 30 for this edition of Conversation Collage. Be good to yourself.